The hit supernatural drama Evil charmed audiences with dark twists and psychological tension, mixing religion, science, and the paranormal in a thrilling, mind-bending show that ended too soon. From the very start, the show was a critical success, with Evil Season 1 earning a 100% score on Rotten Tomatoes. However, despite its triumph, Evil was cancelled after 4 seasons, and while it could technically be saved by another streaming service, the shocking decision was disappointing. There are still so many huge questions in Evil that went unanswered, making viewers wonder if we will ever get clarity. Despite seemingly tying everything with a bow, a messy one, though, the Evil series finale ending left too much to the imagination, pushing many to grapple with theories. From the characters' destinies to the very essence of the battle against the unholy, Evil still has plenty of stories left to tell. 5. The Demon Child. Whatever came of Timothy? The Timothy storyline had its fair share of confusing elements, with the biggest unresolved mystery revolving around the strange demon child's ultimate destiny. As viewers already know, Timothy's conception was disturbingly orchestrated by Leland. Once the child was born, it quickly became clear he was no ordinary baby. He soon started showing unsettling traits, to say the least, leaving Kristen and us wondering what he was capable of. Then, in the closing scene of the final season, Timothy treats us to another creepy display of his demonic features, implying his baptism did not quite work. The weirdest thing about it all might be that after all she's been through, Kristen protected the suspected Antichrist baby, leaving the door open for future developments of the series. However, with no future for Evil insiders of this writing, we're left contemplating Kristen's intentions, whether Timothy can be saved, and, if not, what he is destined to become. 4. Leland Townsend's uncertain fate. Did we really get rid of him? After tormenting everybody, but especially Kristen, for the entirety of the show, Leland finally met his fate in Evil's 4th and final season. At least, that's how it was presented, but the entire thing felt a bit off. For starters, Kristen had the chance to finish Leland once and for all when she had that rope around his neck. However, Ben and David saw that moment as the perfect opportunity to lecture her about being the bigger person, a lesson she ultimately decided to heed. While it does make sense that Kristen doesn't want to be a killer, especially after discovering that Leland faces a much worse fate than death, it also allows the possibility of him escaping. Knowing his knack for manipulation, it's hard to believe Leland would stay locked up forever. The series doesn't give us a definitive closure on this, making it feel like a major unresolved thread despite being camouflaged as a satisfying ending to the show's main antagonist. 3. The 60 Demonic Houses Legacy. Will they continue their work? While the final chapter of Evil did technically solve a 5-year-old prophecy mystery, things don't feel as wrapped up as many would like them to. The 60's master plan is to spread evil and weaken the forces of good, but how it all plays out hasn't been fully explained. With Leland imprisoned for life, who will take his place is a question that has not been answered. Notably, as the show hints throughout, there seems to always be a new evil waiting to fill another's shoes. However, that's an idea so big that it could easily inspire an entire spin-off to explore the never-ending cycle of the unholy and how it continues to emerge. Furthermore, we don't know how the Vatican fits into all of this. They can't fully eradicate evil at its source, raising the question of how they bolster their defenses in the world. This topic evidently raises many unanswered questions, as the battle against evil seems to be endless and complex. 2. The main 3. Is it really the end for Kristen, David, and Ben? As Evil reached its conclusion, at least for now, Kristen, David, and Ben all very conveniently went their separate ways. Kristen begins her own practice, David heads to Rome to join the Vatican, and Ben pursues a lucrative career in AI and quantum computing. However, with very clear indications that evil is far from being eradicated, this plotline is also far from being a satisfying and appropriate end to the beloved saga. While this does seem like a fresh start for each of them, the show leaves their future missions against evil unresolved, especially with Timothy's existence. We couldn't help but wonder if their journeys will take them away from the cause, or if it is all just a larger ruse, setting the stage for a return to the battle they can never fully escape. With a nagging feeling the latter might be the case, Evil Season 5's cancelled plan makes more sense than ever. 1. The confusing arcs of Andy and Lexis Bouchard. Do the Bouchards have more to tell? As we try to make sense of the biggest unresolved questions from Evil's finale, Andy and Lexis Bouchard come to mind as two characters with arguably the most confusing arcs in the entire series. Andy, Patrick Bramwell, Kristen's estranged husband and the father of her 4 daughters, shows up and disappears under the most bizarre circumstances throughout the show, only to eventually be written off as a cheater, which feels fairly out of character for him. Yet, that could be a sneaky way to leave the way open for his future cameos.